Hello friends and gamers, we are doing Archon Quest again. We're in Act 2. Hopefully no one dies today. In Genshin Impact, very important distinction to make in Genshin Impact. We're doing Archon Quest, Act 2, The Truth Lost with the Rain. I really just want to get into it. Yes, at the end of the last Archon Quest video, I did say, I took a minute to yell about Boot Hill. Had my minute. He's so cool. But back on Archon Quest. I don't know if I'm gonna have another video after this because it is 11 o'clock at night. But I'm vibing with Archon Quest, so we're gonna do another one. So we have to go to the Chief Justice's office. We're seeing Nouvellette today. You're now involved in the serial disappearances of young women case, whether you like it or not. This really was against our will, but at this point, I don't know what else we expected. From the new intelligence you gained from your encounter at the Fontaine of Lucine, you and Navia prepare for the next step in your investigation. We're looking for Vache, whoever that may be. We're looking for Vache. I'm just gonna teleport to the statue, I think. I think that's probably the easiest way. There we go.
Come on.
Just a really quick time skip. We're immediately just going right in. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a great time. We have Nouvellette. I think Farina's gonna be there. Maybe if we're lucky, Arlecchino, but I don't think that's until Act 3 or 4. Unsure. I've never been in here. I'm realizing I've never been in here. The music too, like the classical music. Oh my gosh. Where are we pointing? Oh, he has his own office.
Please, do your business here.
Yeah, we
Chief
would get
Justice
stopped.
Is presently occupied with
Wait, do we see Arlecchino? Y'all.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Because it's official matters.
Files are really secure. Hey,
maybe don't immediately bring up the files in front of the Melusine. But
who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care.
The little Melusine is so cute.
You might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
We just beat Farina in a trial.
They've got great discipline too.
Is she buttering up a Melusine?
Yep, Paimon can tell.
Are we buttering up a
If you're
Melusine?
here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy.
We are also busy. We're trying to uncover a big mystery here.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
We were really involved in that trial.
Yes, I remember.
So
I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys.
I feel like this is just gonna get us turned away.
To me now.
We're here today
Right?
to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh.
Are we gonna get kicked
That
out?
even a thing?
Don't question it. It's a thing. It's clearly a thing. Very much a thing.
Don't worry. We're here on official business.
Navia's really good at this. She was really good at the trial stuff too.
You through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
That was so easy.
Thanks
You
so
think
much.
that would be a lot harder, but that was so easy. Okay, we're going to the Chief Justice's office. I needed to know what office it was so we can knock on the door.
Please come in.
And he says, "Come." Ah, is he in there? He's in there. It's just him though. Interesting. All right. Well, here we go. Oh my God. He's so pretty. He's so pretty. Like he's so pretty.
Monsieur Nouvellette. We only lied to get in because we didn't know
Immediately tell him we lied.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of
He's so
assistance to you.
chill about it. We lied, and he's just so chill.
We're looking
This
for a man
dude.
called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearance
And he
case.
just like trusts
Find
us.
him. We may
He's
be
not
able
just
to
like, yeah,
unearth
yeah,
some
I've
key
heard it all
information
before.
on the
He
case.
he trusts us
Ah,
for no
I see.
reason. Literally,
In
he
that
has no
case,
reason to
please wait
trust
here a
us.
moment while I browse through the files.
He literally no reason, absolutely none. But God, is he pretty? This makes me want to finish building my Nouvellette. But you know what? I can finish building him using the training guy.
He's so easy to talk to.
He's so chill. I love him. I love Nouvellette. Did he find something? It's just so you can hear the clock ticking.
Unfortunately,
Does he have nothing?
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past
But
several
maybe he
years.
wasn't involved, but
there are no records of
like-
him either in the files or in my memory.
I would know. I would not trust my memory. Actually, that's a lie. I remember really niche details about Genshin Impact, so maybe I would, just in this scenario. Here's the deal with that, though. My thing is, he might not have been directly involved, but I think we need to go through the listings of the known people who have disappeared in this, like, disappearances case and cross-check some sort of list of, like, their friends and acquaintances, because that's the list he would be on. He's not directly involved, but his loved one, maybe his girlfriend, was. So, like, when you think about actual real-life cases, one of the first people they look into when someone disappears is their romantic partner if they have one. So, like, he'd be written down somewhere. We need to know if this guy exists, okay? But we are back to square one, because he didn't do that. Maybe he did, and they're dumbing it down.
Really just a dream?
I don't think so, because you heard it too,
so?
Paimon. You heard the fountain talking too.
Thank you so much, Miss.
We all heard the fountain talk.
We'll take our leave now.
We all heard it. Come on, guys. Come on. So we're just gonna leave? For, like, wait. What was the ahem for?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
Nuvolette, this is just gonna
deeply regret his passing.
put salt in the wound. Because she's doing this to, like, clear her father's name.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette?
He's probably always been very nice to her, and she thinks it's, like,
Are you
patronizing.
trying to console me?
Yeah.
Extend your sympathy?
Because at the end of the day, he was
express
involved.
Some tendril of regret.
He was involved with the
No.
death of her father.
You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's
Oof.
no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt.
Isn't
like
that his
you
whole
should.
thing, though? That he doesn't really know how to act with people? Because he's not a people?
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk
Oh,
to
no,
you
he was
as a last
really
resort.
involved.
You even
He
told
was
me then that
really
you thought there was
involved.
something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value
Ooh.
of a human life
He feels guilty.
is nothing compared to
And
the
he probably doesn't feel
cold
guilty
laws
for
you hold
much.
So dear.
Because
If
the
you
whole thing,
truly
he
regret
has this
my
whole thing,
father's death,
emotions.
Then why didn't you call a stop
Oh.
to the duel?
She's crying. That's a lot of tears.
Give me the power to stop
That's a lot
him
of tears.
from throwing his life away.
Those tears are not in her
Just let him
voice.
die, despised and hated by all.
Maybe they are, you know?
Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment.
Acting is on point.
Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything.
Yeah?
There are still so many things I never got to tell him.
I do have to say this scene is giving K-drama,
So
though.
many
I love
questions
that, though.
He still owes me answers to.
I love a good K-drama.
If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you.
They
the
really
true
got that
meaning
tear
of
animation down,
regret.
though. Yeesh.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly
Wow.
alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone.
But it's to protect the people they love. Which is not, it's not an excuse, but
It's not so
it's the
much
reason.
that you can't feel,
Not
but
an
that you would
excuse.
never express anything.
I guess he doesn't know how to, that's his whole
In any
thing.
case, everyone already knows full
He's
well
not a
the
people,
apathy
not
of the Chief
he's not a
Justice.
people.
My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go,
Mr.
Traveler
Chief
and
Just.
Paimon.
That's a title. Oh, we're all sad now. You know what though? That was probably very cathartic for Navia. If nothing else, she finally got to like lash out verbally towards Neuvillette. And in any regard, in some regard at least, she probably blames him a little bit because she did try to like reach out to him. It's like it probably hurts now, but
Navia,
in the grand
are
scheme
you
of things,
okay?
it's probably quite cathartic. Oh, and it's raining because
fine.
he feels bad. That's the thing. Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Rain. It's raining.
Because he feels bad,
What?
Navia.
Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building?
It was
And
actually
there shouldn't
dark.
be any active trials today. How strange.
It was actually dark out when we went into the building.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also
Oh.
raining.
Because Neuvillette felt bad. So rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Do we know he's the Hydro Dragon? Unsure. Your father's case, was he outside when it happened, was he?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do
Huh.
you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
Huh.
That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that.
How would expanding the
but
search area
didn't
account for that?
find
'Cause
anything of value.
it would wash it away. There was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
I don't... People can be... The fact that people can be turned into water, but what is...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water?
Oh...
If that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
So...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner.
I mean, if nothing
You're
else.
completely right.
Proves me wrong, though. I thought the dad did it.
Earlier.
Proves me wrong.
All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll
I
get
stand
to the bottom of
corrected.
my father's case for sure.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
This is why I said
Do you
Navia
wanna
was
go with
better
me
at
now?
this than I
Or
was.
do you want to head over by yourself later?
I guess that means, like, if you go first, this probably throws you into a very long string of cutscenes. But we're only 12 minutes into the video, so let's go while the ideal's still fresh. Hit it while it's hot, baby.
Let's go then.
We're going right now. This is gonna throw us into a very long string of cutscenes. They do give the option to leave, but I said no. So this is probably gonna be the entire rest of the video. Oh, it didn't throw me into a very long string of cutscenes. But it did take me directly to Poisson, which is down here. I have been here before as well, as we all can see from the teleport waypoint down here. But I haven't spent a ton of time down here. Here we go.
Whoa, what a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place
I
like
never
this?
noticed the ship, I will say that much.
There's no need to be so surprised.
It's
Well,
the
it may look like a
headquarters?
ship.
That's fun.
It's actually
That's very
Spina
fun.
Sula's headquarters.
That's very fun.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
That's Navia's
Gigantic
taste.
glamour
Okay.
Ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition,
She likes
and
quirky
conquest.
things. All right.
It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
Oh, I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
I didn't think she was bluffing Paimon.
I was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers.
I think it's cool.
Now that Paimon has seen this ship for
The
herself,
atmosphere.
she's been convinced.
So does that mean we can walk around the ship?
Poisson is where Spina
Or is
di
it just like
Rosula began, after
set
all.
decoration?
It's our main base, our home.
Oh. Yeah, no, we're not in a string of cutscenes. Interesting. I thought we were going to be in for it.
Let's move out.
This is a very steep ramp. This seems like a safety hazard. Especially as it's, like, God forbid it gets wet. There's literally a waterfall right next to it. Seems like a safety hazard. All the fishing stuff. I see yacht again. There's a doggy looking at a mirror. Oh, wait, I think I get money out of this. Thank you for 10,000 Mora. I'll be on my way now. Yeah, I've never been this far into Poisson. Talk to Malus on the ship. So we can go on the ship? Heck yeah. It's giving Wangshu Inn. It's giving Wangshu Inn. There apparently is a Hydroculus around here, and the music is kind of freaking me out, like just a little bit. I thought I could find the Hydroculus. Nope, it's Malus time.
Malus, we're back.
So, are we gonna tell him our theory? Our
Apologies for the wait,
much better theory than my
and
theory.
Our most important partner.
Hello, Malus.
You said before
Hi.
that you still had some business at the court. What brings you
Because
back to
Nouvelette
Poisson
wasn't
so
helpful.
quickly?
But then we had a breakthrough after talking to
About
him.
that, it's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case
So,
had something to do with water from the
just-
primordial sea?
Just to kind of figure this out, I think the idea now is that there was 3 people involved technically before. So the murderee, aka the person who was murdered, one of the primordial seawater guys, and then Navia's dad's friend, and then as well Navia's dad. So primordial seawater guy was the real murderer. He took out the girl. I'm assuming it was probably a girl. It was someone. Or what about that? No, there's only 3 people involved. Okay, so it was Navia's dad, Navia's dad's friend, and primordial seawater guy. So primordial seawater guy killed Navia's dad's friend and then made himself go poof with the primordial seawater. Don't know why he'd do that because I don't know how you would come back from that. But he made himself go poof with the primordial seawater. And then when the authorities arrived, it was just Navia's dad. He was the only one left alive. And it was so crazy that he just decided to take that to the grave. There's plot holes. There's plot holes in this theory because that makes no sense. Something's missing in the theory. I need it to be explained immediately.
You
Navia.
still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Like, it doesn't make
Yes,
sense.
the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call
Impossible murders.
murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person? I mean, I guess that would make a certain amount of sense, because if it is the same person, maybe they didn't go poof after the water thing. I don't know. Maybe there's a secret fourth person, and it's this mastermind who wasn't directly involved but is orchestrating everything. But still, there's plot holes in your theory, because why would why would Navia's dad take that to the grave? That's what doesn't make sense. Ooh, unless Navia's dad's friend was that middleman who's, I don't know. Because maybe Primordial Seawater guy and Navia's dad's friend were the same guy. But then that would mean there would be another person who maybe got away. I don't know. There's like a plot hole here. But could the mastermind be the same person? And maybe there's not a plot hole. Maybe I'm just missing something because it is 11:30 at night. But something's missing. Something is missing, either in my personal recollection of what is currently going on, or something is missing from the story. But could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Like, there's something
Of course.
missing.
Many years ago,
Synth
something
was the
called
Primordial
synth began
Seawater.
to gain popularity in Poisson.
There it is.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood.
It's
and
not the
produce
Primordial
many
Seawater?
pleasant
It's different
hallucinations.
things. Because Synth was brought up in Film Festival.
One guy who turned into water also mentioned that the primordial water could be used
Okay,
to
so
make some kind
that's,
of potion?
see, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe the Primordial Seawater in small doses, especially for Fontanian residents, whatever, is more like an illegal substance than thing that makes you go poof. So that's probably what's going on here. And that would also make sense then with the theory, I think from the last video, where I said that maybe the primordial seawater doesn't just immediately make people go poof, but a high enough quantity of it on somebody who is from Fontaine makes them go poof, but a normal person, it's just gonna like make them be a little loopy or something. And so a tiny amount of it mixed with other things is the synth, and it's legally dubious. That is for sure. We do not condone this sort of behavior. It just is a part of the story. Anyways.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth was created using water from the primordial sea.
But what else is...
If you
what
drink synth
else
for
is
an
mixed in
extended
there?
amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions.
We're gonna keep calling it
And if you were to
synth.
stop drinking it completely,
We're gonna keep calling it
you'll
synth and nothing
experience
else.
flashes
I don't want to
of
get
paranoia
demonetized.
and anxiety, while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely
I don't want to get
dangerous substance.
demonetized. I don't.
As he oversaw
Over
Poisson,
synth.
my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse, and called for
They're really
complete
going
ban of
heavy-handed
it.
on that. They're really going heavy-handed on that metaphor.
Compromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened
Will they
or
actually-
bribed him,
Will they call it what it
refused
is?
to yield.
That's what I'm curious about, because Genshin has a
Only
tendency
that,
to not do
Boss
that.
became determined to find the
Loneliness
mastermind
syndrome.
behind the synth
I'm still thinking
operation
about that one.
and put an end to the problem once and for all.
I'm curious. I'm curious what they're gonna do.
But the enemy
Because
was
Genshin has a
very
tendency to do
cunning,
it, and Star Rail has been doing it, so.
so he could never get anything out of the dealers.
I can't say about
all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to
how
the
they've
rest of the
handled things
operation.
with
Recognizing
Penacony.
that,
I haven't gotten there yet.
My father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with
Oh, he
them.
was going undercover.
Finally, he was able
Yeah,
to
he was
convince
going
someone to become
undercover.
his
Deep
informant.
undercover. And then
The
he
man's name was
kicked
Jacques.
the bucket.
He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse.
Fair enough. That's a
That
very
night,
realistic
My
stance to
father
take.
hosted a banquet at his countryside estate.
Countryside
Planned to meet
estate.
up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Dang. Fancy.
But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Eh?
We raced to the scene and found my father.
Oh, this is the
still
lore I
holding a
needed.
gun, and Jacques, who was already dead.
So
on the
Jacques was his
ground.
friend.
How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
He could be a secret double agent. He could be saying he's working for the Spina, and then he wasn't. Bet. So took him out with a gun. Please practice gun safety. Thank you. I'm not getting demonetized on a Genshin quest, okay? It's not happening. I'm not letting it happen. So I don't even know, man. I need chat history. I need the history of what we're going through right now, because
It's just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have
Yeah.
any motive at all.
maybe there was a
That
motive
long
though.
ago, I now believe the most
The only thing
important
I can
clue was
think-
something we all overlooked at the time.
Pieces, yeah.
There were pieces of
Just like
clothing
before.
left at the scene.
My thing is there maybe was the Jacques guy was working double time. And so he told his like superior or whatever about this meeting. So that he was ready, but he's the primordial seawater guy, the superior. So he was ready there with a gun because there was 2 shots. So what I'm thinking is primordial seawater guy took out Jacques, and Navia's dad was trying to take out primordial seawater guy, but it was too late. He was already dissolved with primordial seawater. So then it looked like Jacques was taken out by Navia's dad. That makes a bit more sense, I think. They could have belonged to someone who got dissolved, yeah.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now.
So that's what happened.
Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet.
I guess, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. We got it.
It's almost certain that they belong to a third
Because especially if it was like a banquet where multiple people were at.
We'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
I already figured it out. Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible that the third person was to blame. I think it's the third person. I think Navia's dad was going for the third person, but then the third person he didn't care, so he went for Jacques. And then it looked like Navia, see, you know, third person.
Right.
The secret third person.
I still don't know what happened.
It's all on the secret third person.
Intuition tells me that we're on the right.
It's all coming together. I've connected the dots.
I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Navia.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful.
At the end of the
for his
day,
past actions.
Jacques was the
It's
one who
unlikely
suffered
that he
the
turned
most.
on boss with 0 warning.
But also, Navia's
I
dad
think
technically
this
too. And
third person
secret third person.
is probably the key to the full truth.
But
On that note, however,
they evaporated.
even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler,
That's
I
the
must
word of
still
warning.
offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious.
Yes, that's
and
true.
cruel.
That is very
They
true.
are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice.
Also, not the music
Even though
change.
Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives.
It's about to get spicy.
There's no need to follow your
We have
father's
the
plan.
Malouse monologue.
Be
It's about
both
to get
wise
spicy.
and in line with Boss's wishes.
We're really
Step
gonna
back.
get into it now.
Give
Are
up
we
on
gonna go to
fear.
prison soon? I
If
think we
that's
are.
Indeed what he
Is
wished
that Act
for,
3 or 4 where we
then
go to
he should
prison?
have told
I
me
think
that
it's Act
himself.
3.
Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept.
Because
in
he
the
wanted
dark.
to protect you, Navia. You're
What
his
was the point of him
daughter.
dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he
That's the
manage
part
to
that doesn't make
protect
sense. That's
anything in
the only
end?
thing I can think is that the greater public maybe didn't know Jacques was involved in the synth ring, the underground synth ring, if you will. No relation to anything in real life, but Navia's dad respected Jacques and what he was, like, his motives and what he was trying to do, where he ended up taking that secret to the grave, the secret of Jacques being involved in the synth stuff. For some reason, maybe it was so his family didn't find out or something. That I think that would make the most sense, is that he wanted to protect that secret. And we know what Jacques was involved with, but that was something that Navia's dad, like, maybe that was a promise he made, like, I'm not gonna, it's between me, you and the Spina. No one else knows. And I think that's what makes the most sense. There was a shootout, and then that was the secret that Navia's dad was, like, taking to the grave. Because if he was questioned in any way, that would come out, and then it would,
Synth
that's what
is
makes
still here.
the most sense.
Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula
But
is
Navia is
barely
kind of left to
getting
pick up the
by.
pieces of that.
Nothing has changed.
That's the
Did he
unfortunate
think
truth.
I just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly?
Probably
I've
they should have
never
left her a
accepted
letter or something.
ever.
Like, open this when you
Not
turn.
since that day, and
I would say
certainly not now.
18, but she's definitely
I
over
want to
18.
Find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the
Oh,
victims, and for myself.
you tell him, Navia. That's so
This
so
is
based.
indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable.
Thanks,
and more
Malouse.
importantly, demoiselle,
Love you,
I
Malouse.
think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malou.
Is there actually a letter?
Yes,
Malouse
I
knows
do.
something.
In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances
Malouse, do you
case.
have a letter? Is there a
But
letter?
what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Mademoiselle,
Oh,
had been selected as the next target to disappear.
that's why he wanted to take out the primordial seawater guy.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed
Oh my God,
with
this
a rare
it's
illness.
giving K-drama.
The doctors told him
Whoa.
that he had
That's a bit much.
No more than 5 years left.
Yeah, it's giving K-drama. It's giving K-drama. But you know what? I love old school K-dramas. I grew up on them. So I love this. I love the drama. I do. I love convoluted drama. I grew up on K-dramas. I love it.
The disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
Like I have not watched a K-drama in years because they got very good and polished and like clean and not as convoluted, at least as far as I know. Like I tried to watch a couple of K-dramas made in collaboration with Netflix. One of them being Squid Game. I watched like the first episode of that because I really like Gong Yu. Love him. Love that guy. But they're not hitting as much. They're not as like needlessly dramatic. And I loved that. I loved when they were like ridiculously dramatic like this. Anyways, I love this.
5 years was
I love this.
enough time to resolve
I don't love what's going on, but I
But
love the
once he
drama.
passed away,
Even like this
all
angle.
the danger would pass on.
Like I'm just expecting to hit a pause and suddenly is it almost paradise starts playing? Ooh, something
Knowing
like
all
that.
this, he decided
Hit me
to
with a
use one
shiny
final
ballad or something.
intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have
Shiny
already
might not be the right
gotten his
group.
hands on some key incriminating
Love that group though,
evidence
so
from the
we're
other
gonna
side,
stick with shiny.
and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe,
Yeah.
he would not share the
He took it to the
evidence with
grave.
public.
He took it to the
If
grave.
something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told
Yeah.
would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Okay, so
So no
Oh.
scot-free.
that's why they went for Navia the other night, or like this night, the night before, actually, because it was almost revealed who the synth guy was, and so they're like, well, it's about time. That's so messed up. So now it's like, all right, no holds bar. This is about to get messy. Ooh,
As we've
Woof.
seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other
Yeah,
side has not
but-
tried to take Demoiselle's life.
it almost got
No.
revealed.
I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them
Sometimes,
weak and
yeah,
haggard,
sometimes
especially
someone's really sick and you just don't know.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting
Ah.
dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in
He's
front of his
too
daughter.
too proud. Too proud of a guy.
So he chose to die in silence
Yeah.
so that he could protect me.
Yep.
I'm afraid
Yep,
you're
that
not
is- that- yep.
understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol,
But a
but
sword?
a sword. If Boss's
does that mean?
spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved,
Oh, she's crying again.
I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Oh.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight?
She probably
No.
was quite young at the time.
He
Not
might have
quite
set up
young,
everything
but
precisely because
I'm assuming
he
maybe
never
17,
thought
18.
I'd be able to understand him.
I don't know the exact
Instead,
timeline. We don't
the
know
amount
Genshin
of
characters'
confidence
ages.
He had in me. And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He believed in you. He gave you the choice to live how you want. Yeah, but she decided to stick with the Spina.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world.
Yeah.
But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person.
Is that thankfully? Is that she's
In
saying that
this
better?
case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out.
She's bitter.
Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
This is what he took to the
It's
grave.
the location where
Huh.
synth is produced. Essentially,
Oh,
it's
we're
the
breaking in,
enemy's
baby.
headquarters.
This is gonna be fun.
He was threatening the
It's gonna be
enemy.
so
Boss
fun.
Didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy,
That's true.
you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
That's
Why?
very true.
If
We know
where
this.
the place is, can't we just go storming in?
But they probably have
You
people,
mustn't
other people,
forget
because that's the
that we're
thing.
Fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization.
If we
that's been in
tell,
operation for decades.
yeah, they got a lot of people in a lot of places. They probably got people outside of Fontaine even. So if we like say we go and tell Nouvelette, just like even an anonymous tip, they would know. They would know it was us. Even if it's like an anonymous tip to Nouvelette, where we're like, hey, you might want to go check out this place here. Just real quick, just send some guards. Trust me, trust. They're gonna know it's us, and then it's gonna start an all-out war. Because even if everyone in the synth factory is detained, the people on the outside will somehow find out. They'll somehow know exactly what to do, and Navia will have to go into witness protection. Which, you know, it could happen. It could. Anyways,
There's no
moving on.
telling what might be lying in
Moving
wait at
on.
their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence
This is so
we may be
dramatic,
able
I
to
love it.
find inside, nor what people we may be able
Like, this
to
is the sort of
capture.
plot you could, like, copy and
But a
paste this with different
single visit to
characters,
their headquarters
different
would be
location into a
tantamount to
book.
formal
I'd eat it up.
declaration of
I'm
war.
eating this up.
The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves
Like, I
up
decided to do the Archon
full
quest on a whim, and
retaliation.
I might keep going all night until I finish it now.
Why
I
not
say that, but I'll probably
Fontaine
be done after
Archon?
this video.
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during
This is
Mr. Liddy's
true.
case. We have no idea
Yeah.
just how thoroughly they may have
That's
been
the other thing.
infiltrated.
Even if Navia is put into, like, witness protection or the Fontaine
That's true.
version of that, there
Seems my
still
father
could
really
be
had no
guards
choice.
on the inside that are working for the
Things
synth
are
people.
different
So,
now, it should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
but that's still, we would need to do it
Sound like
very
you put
quickly.
A lot of thought into this, Malus.
Because that's the thing, there's still a
I
lot
am
of people.
The butler, after all.
We love the butler.
I live but to serve the boss.
We
and
love him.
Mademoiselle's will.
Malus,
I've always
what a
been
guy.
willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake.
we love you, Grandpa Malus.
Considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping
said I'm old.
secrets, performing basic investigations, and
What a
waiting
guy,
for
he's
the
so
right time to
smart.
come.
Malus,
Thank you
based.
for all of that, Malus.
Malus is based.
Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Probably.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy
Oh.
must be quite familiar
Oh.
with Spina de Rosula, or at least
That
have
would
an
make
informant
sense.
planted
That would
here.
make a lot of sense.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark
Huh.
and observe the reactions of the synth vendors.
What a
If
guy.
the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however,
So you know?
then someone must have
Malus,
given
do
them
you
the
know?
news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing,
Oh,
I've
well, this is
narrowed
about to be
the
a fetch
suspect
quest.
list down to 3 people.
I guess more of an investigation
First
quest.
is Florent, Spina de
Florent.
Rosula's senior advisor.
Isn't that the guy who works at the bar?
Huh? Florent?
Isn't that the guy who works at the bar?
Surprising, isn't it?
Am I
He
right
was
about that?
One of the people boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who
Who's the guy that works at the bar?
understood boss really well.
From the film festival event.
Thanks to his position,
I'm just
within
thinking now,
bosses
like,
in a
wait a
boss
minute.
Circle, he always
What?
knew our upcoming
Is that the guy who works at the
plan
bar?
and could thus avoid
Or is it just a
capture
similar
this whole
model?
time.
Is it just a completely different
There's
model? And
someone else
I
like
don't
him
know.
too.
Marcel?
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
I think it's Marcel. Uncle Marcel. Oof. What is the confrérie? I think it's Marcel. Immediately, there's a vibe to him. I think it's the hair.
It's a guild in Poisson. A boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Not a guild. Not
In
the
the
guild.
beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds
Yikes,
around.
wow.
With a lot of business connections in the city.
Hey, you want to help us with some of those business connections?
Organization of Spina de Rosula?
Maybe?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support.
But
It's a bit difficult to imagine someone
Yeah.
using their own
but
money
it also
to hunt
would
down
be
themselves.
entirely
The final
Like-
suspect is Thierry, the man
Unthought
responsible
of?
for coordinating information between Spina de Rosula
I don't
and
think
the
it's him.
guards.
He seems very
Although the
inconsequential.
guards mostly leave us to our own devices. There are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities.
Understandable. Have a
Since
nice day.
Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically
That's true,
always
but
plan
I
one
don't
step
think he'd be
ahead.
working for the synth
I see.
people. If anything, I would think
These
he'd be working
are
for
all
like
people who I communicate
literally
with
anyone
quite
else.
Regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been
Yeah,
right
maybe
next
you
to
should
me
have
all
told
along,
Navia about it
among
earlier
those
just
I
for
trust
that
the
reason.
most. It's almost too hard.
Because that's
to
a bit
believe.
messed up.
If
This
you want
music
to
is not fitting
investigate them,
this.
please take
They had,
every
like-
precaution to not alert the
What's the
quarry.
word? They had like dramatic music
Judging
playing and
from
then they
our
turned it off and now
experience,
the normal
enemy
music is playing. It does not fit.
extremely cautious.
It doesn't fit.
Of course. And
And music
thank
is
you,
very
Malus.
important in these things.
You've
That's why
provided us with a
K-dramas are
lot of
so
great information.
ridiculous half the time because they put in
You're
like the
too
most
kind,
dramatic
my
music
lady.
ever.
I'm just
for, like, a
doing
walk
my
to the park.
duty. And before I forget,
But I love it.
Proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death.
True.
After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Oh.
They still live in Poisson today.
I wouldn't if I were
You
them.
could also pay them a visit.
I wouldn't
I
if
can
I
make
were
the
them.
necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Melus.
Are we just gonna have to go around and talk to people
A new
now?
case awaits, my dear partner.
Are we literally just going around and talking? This is my least favorite thing. When we just go around and talk to NPCs. I don't like it. Leave it to
I
me.
hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
And this
and
video is
end
also
this
not
case
long enough for
once
me
and
to like
for all.
end it here, so I'm gonna have to go talk to all the people. Case records for Callus, not Kalis. Visit Jacques' family. Okay, so we're going to visit Jacques' family, not, okay, awesome. So this is our job. I can handle that. I hate when it goes like very, like when it's all twisty turny. I don't like that. I don't like when they don't like when Wang Shu in either. So we're looking for Jacques' family. They're higher up. Where? Oh, it's up the ladder. This is a much more rudimentary ladder. I don't know how you would climb this one. The other ladder was like normal size, but this? How the heck do you climb this one? So where are they? Oh, right here. Oh, Melusa's there already.
It is settled.
Oh,
then.
we all went. Oh, I'm going to go
Please
talk to everyone.
excuse me, and
Huh.
enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Oh, there's the
Thank you for
daughter. I love her
arranging everything
dress.
for us, Melus.
What a cute little dress.
Excuse me,
Layering
miss.
queen.
Do you need anything from us?
Oh, they know who she is. That kid. That kid is bitter.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Oh, our little book of notes went away. Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
How much time has gone by?
After what happened,
Because I want to know
didn't
I
how
would like
was
to know the
supposed
actual
to
timeline of
face
things.
the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died,
That must also be why they're
Dear
struggling
Sula
financially.
sent us a lot of mora. and
Sent a lot of mora.
support. I
Which is
understood
understandable.
Your guilt and apology to be genuine.
Aren't all of
Did they
those
know?
things nothing compared to the loss of
Did they
Jacques?
know that he was dealing with the synth people?
I
don't know how much the
can't
family
understand
knows.
the kind of pain that comes with
Well,
losing a father
it couldn't have
so
been that long ago
needlessly.
if the kid is still like
I don't understand
maybe
at all.
10.
I didn't know how to face you.
Because she obviously knew her
because
dad.
I didn't know what I could possibly bring
she's
as a
this angry.
consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you.
So it couldn't have been that
and
long
to
ago.
all of us.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is so bitter. What a queen.
I'm sorry.
She's validly
I
better.
appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to.
Even
carry
if
all that
Navia, like,
guilt.
it's not actually her fault,
On the matter regarding my husband,
the daughter is
my
it's
daughter
valid.
and I have more or less found our answer already.
Do they know?
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father
You're just
could
gonna say
ever
that in front of
bring
the kid?
himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others.
Oh.
He
So
told
they
me
did figure it
countless
out.
times that if he could turn back the clock, he
Oh,
would
so they
never go
did
into the
know he
synth
was
business
working
again.
in the
He had
synth
many
business.
regrets,
Okay, so that
and felt that he took
okay,
the idea of
that theory doesn't
providing
work.
for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr.
That
Callis
kid's
came
gonna
to
lash
him with a
out.
proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could. But
So
even so, he was still found out.
then
by the higher
why
ups.
did he
Found
take
out
it
About his
to the
betrayal.
grave? Okay, so that explains that part.
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before
About?
he left that day,
About what?
he told me that
Ungrateful
he
about
had
what?
no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
So someone orders Jacques to take out Callus. Okay, so in the grand scheme of the theory now, that would mean Jacques went to the thing to take out Callus. So the original, oh my god, wait. I'm just now realizing this NPC's name is Coralie. Coralie Honkai Impact 3rd. This looks nothing like her, but I think that's so funny. It's like they named this NPC Coralie knowing full well that part 2 protagonist, one of them, is named Coralie. They knew that. They knew that. Okay, back to the theory though. The theory is Jacques was ordered to take out Callus. So, but the plan was, the reason, Primordial Seawater guy swooped in the last minute because if their plan went how it was supposed to, Jacques would have taken out Callus, and then Primordial Seawater guy would have taken out Jacques. The original plan was they'd be dead, and then he was gonna go poof. And so then they just would have been gone. They would have been dead, and there would have been no one to blame. It would have been like, oh, they shot each other. Okay. But didn't go to plan. So what ended up actually happening, I need to talk this out or else nothing's going to make sense because there's too much going on. I do need to take notes. So what ended up actually happening was, I literally can't, my brain just short-circuited. Well, I'm assuming Jacques probably hesitated to take out Navia's dad, Callus, because he felt indebted to him or whatever. And so he hesitates. Primordial Seawater guy shoots, and then Callus sees what's happening, shoots for Primordial Seawater guy, but it's too late. He's Primordial Seawater. So, and it's raining, so he gets washed away. And then we go back to, it looks like Callus took out Jacques. So realistically, none of them were getting out of there a full person, but Callus did last the longest as a full person. This is so messed up. It's so messed up. Someone ordered Jacques to take out Callus.
I don't know that for sure. But you could say that.
So they knew but there still leaves the deal of, why did he take this secret to the grave?
Why I'm the one who should feel.
Was it because of the whole
Navia
Navia thing?
Taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after.
Because I guess that makes enough sense.
Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband,
If
it was likely in self-defense.
I don't think he did.
It is impossible for me to hate him for what he.
I don't think he shot at Jacques at all. I think he shot at Primordial Seawater guy, but he could have shot at Jacques. I don't know. It depends on how many gunshot wounds. How many like wounds did Jacques have? You know, was it 2? Because then yeah, one of them was Callus. If it wasn't 2, because there was only 2 shots. If it wasn't 2, if it was only 1, then it was Primordial Seawater guy. What was the angle of it? Gotta do forensics. You know, what were we talking about? Because I guess it would make enough sense that if they knew the synth people were so in the trenches of Fontaine, where it doesn't matter if they think they got everyone involved, there's still people out there who would get Navia. So I guess that makes sense. Okay, plot hole is filled, but it's filled very tentatively.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa
Because that's how the
always
world
wanted to be a good man.
works.
So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Unfortunately,
Well,
little Adele.
things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man.
He had good intentions, but
Yeah,
once again,
Papa was a really
road
good
to hell is
man.
paved by good
The
intentions.
best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on
And
to
that's
that.
how we ended up in a
If
three-way
a good
shootout.
man had to do a bad thing.
He
then
must have had his reasons.
reasons.
That's what I was saying. Even when I thought the
Regardless
dad
of whether
did
he
do
went
it,
to a parasol
he had his
or a
reasons.
sword.
The parasol and the sword.
He must have done so to give you a better life.
She's gonna start crying again. Navia.
For everything you've told
She
me.
needed this again. This is another
I
cathartic
will
moment for
definitely
Navia.
find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you.
Based.
I'm very grateful to hear this from you.
Oh. I'm gonna guess it's been like 2 years.
Even though your
It's like 2
personality
years.
is quite different from your father's, your determination when you
So
speak
realistically,
is really
this all
similar.
happened
You really
since
think
the
so?
start of the game.
It's the first
This is the
time
whole thing.
anyone
This
said
whole
that to me.
story. When we were in like Lua, this was happening. So you have the testimony from Jacques' family now. We keep going. Talk to Florin. Florin? I forget how to say that one. All right, we gotta talk to another person. I don't want to talk to another person. Like I said, this is my least favorite thing, just talking to a bunch of
Are
people.
you okay, Navia?
But it's also, I guess, yeah, it's important
I'm fine.
to the theme.
Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects.
There's
next.
3 more.
Florent should be nearby.
Florent.
And we should
Okay.
be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Like, this is
I'll get myself together.
a lot.
So please don't worry.
I hate just going around and talking to NPCs. I'm gonna be honest, it's my least favorite thing to do. I love the drama, but like, and Grant, I don't think it's unnecessary. Like, especially the one we just spoke to, where we talked to Jacques' family. I think that was very necessary. Oh, this can't be the bartender from upstairs. Not upstairs, it's still down below. But you can't be the bartender, because we're in Poisson. We're not in under the city. Like, I think all these parts are necessary, but I don't like doing it. It's a lot of work. A lot of walking around. I like this NPC, though.
Boss. How may I be of assistance?
Maybe not as much after that voice.
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House.
Not that it's a bad
Someone
voice, just
got
not my...
turned
no.
into water right in front of us.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
You know,
And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also
is he
reminded
one of
me,
those guys
on
who's
the
like
day that the incident
anti-journalism?
happened with my father, it was raining outside.
Because, you
and
know,
we found some
again,
clothes left at the
maybe
scene.
not as much.
After my
Maybe not
partner
as
here
much.
put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that
So she's just blatantly going around and asking these people who may or may not be working for
Mr. Callus
the
was
synth
feeling
people?
pretty upbeat that day.
And if they know you're
So
reopening the
he was
case?
drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After
Or
that,
was he lying?
he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So
Oh.
we let him go without thinking much of it.
So we're
Who knew that
listening
we would hear
for...
two gunshots ring out right
We're
after?
listening for the person who,
My
like,
first reaction
blatantly
was that Mr.
blames...
Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and
Okay,
made
I
a
don't
mad
think it's
dash toward the
Florin.
scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead
I don't know.
body
I
with a
think he's
gun
fine.
in
I
his
think he's
hands.
innocent.
All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
Okay, I think he's
So
innocent.
you also remember 2 gunshots then?
2
Indeed.
gunshots.
The guard said that
The first shot didn't hit anyone.
while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
Okay, so he's on our side. First shot, I think it's opposite. I do think it's opposite, but they did, like, if it didn't hit anyone, because it wouldn't make sense for the second shot not to hit anyone. It wouldn't make as much sense. So, like, okay, the first shot didn't hit, but then the second one did. What I think happened is the first shot did hit. That was the one that hit Jacques. And then the second one was Callus trying to hit Primordial Seawater guy. But he was already Primordial Seawater because he had it planned where he went bang bang and then yeeted himself out of there with the seawater. So
Reason being,
I think.
Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table.
Oh.
I even made sure to confirm that before running to
Oh.
the scene.
Oh, that changes things. Okay, so Callus didn't shoot him. So maybe it was Primordial Seawater guy and Jacques. Oh, okay, the first shot didn't hit anyone. Jacques probably fired, but was like, I can't do it, and just like it veered off at the last second. It didn't hit Callus. But in that moment, at the same time, the second shot was then Primordial Seawater guy he hit Jacques and then went bye-bye. So at the end of the day, he's like, well, didn't kill him, but him being Callus. Didn't take him out, but what's the name of the prison? Oh my god, what's the name of the prison? I don't remember the name of the prison, but the prison will. I don't remember the name of the prison, I'm gonna be honest, but that'll take him out.
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his
But did they
person.
find another gun on him? That's the
About
question.
The clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a
Yes.
third person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible, but also yes, that's exactly what
At
happened.
least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with
Because
him.
I was thinking, oh, he probably just had one on
The
him.
gun he was holding
I live in Texas, y'all.
probably belonged to Jacques. Or a third person on the
I'm
scene.
in Texas.
Yeah, that makes a
I
lot
just
of
assumed.
sense.
I just
So
assumed he
you're
had
saying
one on him.
Mr. Callus ended up
I
with
just
the
assumed he had a
gun as
piece.
He seized it from one of the other guys?
This video is gonna get demonetized.
hold
I
on.
swear, I'm gonna have to edit
That's
so
what
much of this
happened.
out.
Then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
If this video is an
Didn't even
absolute
wanna
mess, it's
face
because
the
it got
Oratrice
demonetized the
machine.
first time.
And chose instead to prove his honor in a duel.
Because he
Didn't
wanted to
resolve
protect
faith in the
Navia.
courts After seeing someone dissolve right in front of his
No,
eyes?
it was because he wanted to protect Navia. That's, I guess, the most valid reason.
About
I guess
that,
that's the most valid reason.
Luce told
Because
me
I'm like, that's a
thing or
little bit
two.
much, but
So, I think I can understand
Also-
why he committed to the duel.
he
I'll
really
tell
loved
you
his daughter.
everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr.
Okay,
Callus's
so
honor
Florin
in
is on
your
our side.
hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet.
Either that or he's like
been a
really
thorn in my
selling
side
it.
since the day
But
it
I
was
don't. I think
invented.
because he literally said he didn't
Many
even have a
people
gun. What the
have
heck?
laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so
No,
many
he's on our
years
side.
have passed.
I don't think they would.
But
The
it was
first guy
Mr.
we talked to
Callus's
as
trust
well
that
would be
allowed
like
me to rise
the
through
guy.
ranks of Spina di
It's probably the
Rosina
last one we talked to.
and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most,
You tell him.
and he'll always be my boss.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, I will definitely
tell
find
him.
the truth. You and all our other comrades at
The
team
comrades.
deserve to know the truth
Yeah.
as well.
All right. So who are we talking to next? Is it the old guy? No, for sure he's on our side. Go to the court of Fontaine and speak Theory. Theory? Okay, so it is the second guy because we're talking to this guy. This is the guard. Thierry? I forget what his name is. He's the guard. And I was like, he seems like he'd be involved with someone, but not the Primordial Seawater people. All right. It all makes sense now. Everything makes sense. It's the second guy who I thought was suspicious. Ooh, do we want to go talk to this? I think we're going to be done here. This might end up being a little bit of a shorter video, but I think this is a good place to end. I just want to check the wish screen because I'm like No, I said I would also, I don't know why I'm on Ito's banner. I think it was because in the patch video, I was repeatedly talking about, what is it? I was repeatedly going over rerun banners. We're not gonna pull. We're not gonna pull. We're not gonna pull. We are not going to pull. Yeah, much happening. I can't sit on anything here. We're gonna stand next to the doggy. Doggy! That's how we're gonna finish the video. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. Well, this is also just such a cute dog model. Please don't leave me. Please don't leave doggy. We have to finish the video before the dog leaves me. That's it for today. Oh no, the dog, it's pushing me, no. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video, which I actually probably will take a break because I need a snack. I need an actual midnight snack because it is midnight now, so I'm gonna go do that. Maybe I'll come back, probably not, another time. Anyways, yeah, I don't remember what I said or didn't say yet. Kokomi, are you done? All right, yeah, I forget what I did and didn't say. Bye, guys.